You stand in a room you built for her. Every piece of furniture, every shade of paint, a monument to her desires. Yet the air is cold, colder than the stone floors beneath your feet. You offer her a smile, a carefully constructed thing, practiced in the mirror. It doesn't reach your eyes. You're not sure you have eyes anymore. Just hollow sockets, reflecting her apathy. She looks at you, or rather through you, as if you are a ghost in your own home. A well-meaning phantom whose only purpose is to adjust the temperature and fetch her tea. And you ask yourself the silent, screaming question, the one that echoes in the space between your ribs. Why isn't she happy? I've done everything she ever wanted. This feeling, this chilling void where her warmth used to be, it is not an accident. It is the predictable, soul-crushing result of a psychological trap. A trap you willingly walked into. The trap of making her happiness your sole purpose. You thought it was noble. A knight's quest. The ultimate expression of love. You were wrong. In the complex theater of human attraction, you cast yourself in the one role that guarantees rejection. The servant. Let's dissect this. Strip away the romance and look at the raw, uncomfortable wiring beneath. It begins with a simple, flawed premise. Her happiness is my responsibility. The moment you accept this premise, you hand her a signed confession. It reads, "My own needs, my own purpose, my own identity are secondary to yours." This isn't strength. This isn't love. In the language of primal attraction, it is a declaration of weakness. Psychology calls it the principle of polarity. Attraction thrives on the tension between two distinct, powerful energies. Masculine and feminine. The masculine energy is the mountain, the rock. It is direction, purpose, stability. It is the unwavering, I am here. This is who I am. This is where I am going. The feminine energy is the ocean, the river. It is flow, chaos, emotion. It tests the rock, crashes against it. When you abandon your purpose to make her your purpose, the mountain crumbles into sand. You remove the polarity. You kill the tension. You become the shifting sands asking the ocean which way to blow. And the ocean finds itself bored, disgusted. There is nothing to test, nothing to hold on to, nothing. Here's the brutal truth. A woman is not attracted to a man who orbits her. She is attracted to a man who has his own orbit and invites her to join him in it. By making her your center of gravity, you create a vacuum. You force her into the masculine role of being the center, the purpose, the direction. It's a role she instinctively resents, and she will resent you for forcing her into it. This is where contempt is born. Not from malice, but from a deep, instinctual disappointment. Let's call him Arthur. And her, Eleonora. When they met, Arthur was a whirlwind. He was a clockmaker. His life was a symphony of gears, springs, and precision. His passion was his own. Eleonora was captivated, not just by him, but by the world he had built. A world that didn't need her, but had a space for her. Then the poison dripped in. A single thought. I must make her happy. It started small. He cancelled a late night in his workshop because she seemed lonely. She smiled. A reward. He stopped meeting his friends for their weekly debate club because she preferred quiet evenings. Another smile. The trap was setting. His opinions began to soften, to mirror hers. His sharp edges, the very things that first intrigued her, were sanded down to a smooth, predictable surface. The clockmaker who commanded time was now a man who just asked for it. Is it okay if would you mind if... Eleonora's smiles became rarer. Her admiration curdled into annoyance. The fascinating man with a world of his own was gone. In his place was a butler, an accommodating ghost who haunted the halls of a life that was no longer his. The end came not with a bang, but with a quiet, venomous whisper. One night, he presented her with a perfect meal he'd spent all day preparing. She pushed the plate away. "I'm not hungry." He asked what was wrong, what he could do. His voice was a pathetic plea. She finally looked at him, truly looked at him, and with a voice devoid of all warmth, she said, "The problem, Arthur, is that I don't respect you anymore. I fell in love with a clockmaker," she continued, her voice cutting like glass. "A man who built worlds. I have no idea who you are. That is the endgame of this trap. Contempt, the death of attraction. You didn't lose her. So, how do you escape? Or better yet, how do you never enter the trap at all? The transformation begins with a single, revolutionary act of selfishness. You must reclaim your purpose. Your purpose cannot be her. It must be something you build, something you strive for, independent of her existence. Your mission, your business, your art, your physical and mental cultivation, that is your mountain. That is your rock. Her happiness is her garden to tend. You are not the gardener. You are the lighthouse on the shore. You don't chase her. You don't try to fix her moods. You provide the stable light that she can use to navigate her own waters. Your presence is unwavering. Your purpose is clear. This means you will say no. You will have boundaries. You will have a life that is unapologetically yours. Some nights you will choose your workshop over a movie with her. Not out of spite, but because your soul demands it. Because the clock must be built. She may not be happy in that moment. She may be disappointed. But beneath that disappointment, a different feeling will grow. A feeling that has been dormant for far too long. Respect. Because you are no longer a mirror reflecting her every whim, but a map to a world of your own. A world she is now curious to explore. Stop trying to make her happy. It is a fool's errand and a suicide mission for attraction. It is the architect of contempt. Instead, focus on one thing and one thing only. Become a man you yourself can respect. Build your ship. Steer it towards your own distant star. And you will find that she doesn't want a servant to row the boat for her. She wants a captain, worthy of joining on a grand voyage.